Good evening and welcome back to my channel. So I have been away for a wee bit and my last project was somewhat intensive. The Cheyenne dropship from Aliens, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been sort of nibbling away at some other things. And I will figured I would go ahead and give a bit of a state of the workbench and where I am and what I'm working on so far, and just sort of a quick little update because folks apparently are looking. So, like I said, I've been on holiday for a little bit, went over to Scotland for a bit, and now back. But I've been working on this little bit of a gaming project for a bit, and I finally got it closed out. I figured I'd go ahead and share it. So, I do play Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 40K, and for those who are unfamiliar with that game, it's a miniatures war game using 28mm figures like this one, which happens to be my Inquisitor, and it's set in the far-flung future, of the grim dark, rah rah rah, whatever. My faction that I like to play is the Inquisition. Long story, and I won't belabor that point here because it's not really relevant to model building so much as it is, the fluff and the drive for a lot of the builds that I do when it comes to, my gaming stuff. So, one of the factions or one of the types of armies you can play are giant stompy robots, and those who are following my channel for any length of time know that I have a big dig for battle tech, battle mechs, and giant stompy robots. One of the models is a Inquisitorial Knight armature. So this is a small vehicle, small-ish but large when compared to the guys involved. Vehicle that will be piloted across the battlefield, and it has certain types of weapons and to be used that are designed to lay the enemy low. I have given it a white-ish paint scheme, and I do have this separated so that it's easy to turn, but I will bring this up here. I've given it a whitish paint scheme because I like white, chipped it up a bit, did some weathering and so forth. The symbols are custom decals. These transfers I made by myself because they're inquisitorial symbols of the 40K Inquisition. And this is, and it's difficult to get this guy in completely in, but I went with a yellow sandy color shading technique, more to give it an aged look rather than a dirty look. And I kind of am happy with the way that came out. So that is the Knight armature. It's a fairly small, what is called a Knight, or a Titan Knight, whatever word you want to use. And part of the Inquisition field I have is a Knight Crusader. I'm going to have to zoom out to get this guy in. And this is the Knight Crusader. Did a little bit of attempt at object source lighting for the eyes. Tried to give it a little bit of a red glow, and it didn't do too terrible. I probably could do better, but again, going with the white paint scheme because that's what I like. Made the mechanics dirty up, and again, custom made transfers, and I also did a cast of the Inquisitorial symbol. Now this came from the Raven Star, or Black Wing, whatever it's called. Darned if I can read it from here, but it's it's a vehicle, an Inquisitorial vehicle for the Black Templars. So I was able to do a duplicate of that so that I could make the little symbol and mark it as Inquisitorial. The weapon arm here comes from 15mm Dreamforge, the Dreamforge Titans, actually have some weapons that are in scale to this, and so I use that here. And again, going with the sandy color shading and chipping and scratching and so forth with some decent, I'm quite pleased with the way this came out. I'm not overly happy with the base, but I'm pretty happy with this knight. Which brings me to the final knight in the squadron, which also currently is playing as a crusader, but will become one of the new knights. As I understand, there are new knights coming out. I'm going to have to pull this back a bit to try and get this all in view, because this guy's not small at all. And let's see if this gives me some more light in the subject. There we go. It's a little burnt in. Let's see if we can do this here. Let's get that up there. There. So this is a knight, a Dreamforge. There we go. So this is a Dreamforge Titan. This was the Leviathan Mortis, I believe. Gave him the 2 custom weapons that come with it to duplicate the look for a 40k knight. And I also put a mount up top for the carapace weapon, which we will get to. I know that the intercoolers in the back aren't quite the same aesthetic as most of the 40k intercoolers, but I like it, so I'm a fan of it. I may do some more shading and dirtying up of it. But one of the things I did do is I made this magnetized, so this is, autofocus please. It's not that hard to focus, come on. Seriously. Why aren't we focusing? Autofocus. There we go, that's better. So, went ahead and made the carapace weapon magnetized, like I did on the other one back there. This one I put a magnet right flush with the surface of the mount, so all this does is just clip right on, which I was kind of happy with. Did some shading, and again, Inquisitorial symbols, cast, Inquisitorial transfers, and also did Inquisitorial shields on the legs. So let's see if I can tilt this a little bit. It's a little bit challenging with the size of this guy, but to give you guys a somewhat close look of where we are. And again, I did a bunch of shading and wearing and weathering on it to give it a used but not, trashed look. So that is what I've been working on, sort of piecemeal here for a bit. While we were doing this, that, and the other thing, these 3 guys have been getting little bits and pieces of detail work done as I work on other projects. I've been wanting to get them ready so I can go do some gaming with them. So these are now clear of my bench. I did try to take a couple of pictures, so we will see if they came out, and I will tack them to the end of this here. I also have another project going, and let me see if we can set these guys to the side here. Back as it fell. Let's move these guys over here. I'm also working on a project for a group build. So this here is the Ghostbusters Ecto 5. So I have the model of the Ecto 1 and Ecto 1A, which is a pretty cool model. I've done an unboxing of it, and it's kind of neat. But what I've decided to do is take this in the direction of a Fifth Element type thing. So, the flying car. And the goal is to make it have that similar look as, the Corbin Dallas's cab and so forth, with the flying stuff. This is also an opportunity for me to play around with different techniques. So currently what I did is I blacked out the windows, just because it's better for what I wanted to do and it fits the scheme. I've done the interior detail, sort of surface did it. I really didn't go into too much detail because there's not a whole lot you're going to see once it's buttoned up, but I did enough so that it should be good. But the real thing, the real trick to this guy is I also picked up the Voodoo FX lighting kit for this guy. So this is my first attempt at working with something like that, and I'm actually kind of happy with this. So I will do a build video or a video of progress, a project video for the Ecto build, and there will be, the front lights will light up, and then if you look at the flying cars, they had lights down around the front, they had lights down around the back, and then the underneath was sort of smooth with little greeblies on for the whole hover thing. So so essentially from this part down, this is going to get smoothed out. We'll put the front on, then we'll smooth this out, and I'll run chrome along the back to the back piece, smooth the bottom out, and put flight type greeblies down there for that. But I'll also finish lighting this bad boy up. I was actually kind of happy with the way this came out. I'm getting better with my wiring and so forth, so I think that will add to the look of the model. So that is where I am. That is the state of my workbench now, where we are. Thanks for watching. I hope it's been a good month for everybody, that folks have had worked through their projects and got some things done and had some fun. And I will be back with other project updates and so forth as time and project success allows. Thank you very much, and have a great day.